Hey, everybody. I have a huge announcement tonight. I also want to talk about P. Diddy's home getting raided, Candace Owens getting fired from the Daily Wire, Trump now having to pay a lot less in his court fees and in his for his bond. And we're going to talk about all that today and more here on Speechless. Hey, everybody, and welcome back to Speechless. I'm your host, Phares, 23-year-old conservative activist, host of Speechless, not only on the radio, but also right here on YouTube, Twitch, Twitter, now X, Facebook, and Rumble. Everybody, make sure no matter where you are watching from to go like this video, repost it, share it with your friends, subscribe, follow wherever you're watching from. Go check out Speechless with Kev on YouTube. Subscribe there. I post more on there than I do on any other platform. Share this with your friends, comment, all that fun stuff, and keep making sure you're smashing that like button. I'd really appreciate it. And I want to start off this live stream tonight. And like I said, make sure you guys are commenting. I see I got Demon Girl in there. Everybody leave a comment. Let me know what you're thinking. But I want to start off this live stream by talking about something that's very important. As many of you might know, I was predisposed in the last few weeks. I had different things I was doing. I only did one live stream last week, one piece of content really last week. It's been kind of slow. Why is this? Well, it's because I have huge news. Everybody, I know I've been talking a lot on my show in the past about the fact that I will be going to law school. And I never really talked about where or anything like that because I was going through the process of applying. It's a grueling process in which you have to take the LSAT, the law school admissions test. You have to gather all your transcripts. You have to get letters of rec. Which, if the people that wrote me letters of rec are watching right now, I want to thank you sincerely. Although I highly doubt they are. But thank you so much for that. I have officially come to a decision as to where I will be going to law school. I will be going to Liberty University. I have officially paid my first due there and sent in my letter of acceptance. Thank you so much to Liberty Law School. I visited Lynchburg, Virginia last week. Liberty Law School, I'll be attending there, but don't worry, guys, the content is still coming. And if not, even more now that I will have some amazing peers to discuss what my future holds at Liberty Law School. So please make sure, like I said, like, subscribe, share, comment, all that fun stuff. And definitely now consider maybe sending a super chat or something like that because I got law school bills to pay now. But let's get into all the content now that I've gotten through that. I really appreciate all of the support that I've consistently gone through with all that. Thank you, Kel. I really appreciate your support in that. But let's get into the first big story that is breaking right now. P. Diddy's home, rapper P. Diddy, his home was raided in Los Angeles. There's also reports that it is also that his Miami home is being raided. Let's take a look real quick at some of the body cam footage, or not body cam, the air footage of P. Diddy's home getting raided. Let me get my screen share up here. This is courtesy of Fox 11. Take a look and a listen right here. Let's pull it up on screen. I can probably even go like this. There we go. Okay, take a look here.
This information from, we were actually the first ones here with about 30 different law enforcement vehicles at least. There are 3 Bearcats on scene here. This just all unfolded, Sandra, I would say, less than 10 minutes ago. We got here even before the crime scene tape came up. So we're just down the hill. If you look up this street where Tony is right now to the right, you'll see one of those Bearcats, and law enforcement on the other side of those bushes basically is that home that is registered to Bad Boy Films, which is part of Bad Boy Entertainment. And the home in particular is registered not only to Bad Boy Films, but to one of P. Diddy's daughters.
They are heavily armed, and they've been very tactful, would probably be the best word to use, as they made entry into this home. This afternoon. We actually watched them as they made their way through one of these side gates. And as soon as they got inside the home, one of the first things they did was made their way into this garage that you see is open right there. Now, they did take a couple of people into custody. We witnessed that. Now, are they under arrest? Are they just being asked about what they know? That I can't answer, but I can tell you there's 3 people right there that were taken into custody, were inside that home at the time of the raid.
We did see a bunch of investigators going in, making the raid in there and clearing that as well. So they're going to do a thorough search as they conduct this raid. And so far, Stu, from what I understand and from Haley on the ground there, they have not seen, and we have not seen from our vantage point, any sign of Sean Combs, the 54-year-old who is believed to be the property owner of this.
You're guilty by association.
As you can see, large police presence at the home of P. Diddy. P. Diddy is obviously a fairly famous rapper that has been around for a long time. The accusations that led to this raid that has happened have to do by Homeland Security is in connection to a federal sex trafficking investigation. According to investigators, Diddy's Miami home was also raided. Multiple women have come forward accusing Diddy of beatings, sexual assault, and forced drugging. Accuser Joy Dickerson says she was 19 when she was intentionally drugged by Diddy after a date, and he then took her home and allegedly raped her. Diddy filmed the assault and showed his friends. Dickerson went into depression and later dropped out of college. Another lawsuit filed by a man accuses Diddy of, quote, unsolicited groping and sexual touching. This is obviously a bombshell breaking and still developing story. When it comes to P. Diddy, all I would say is listen to his music. Listen to the things that rappers, including him, but also like him, say about women, the way they treat women, the way that they act in society, and believe them when they tell you who they are, what they do, and how little respect they genuinely have for the women around them. But yes, so that is P. Diddy's home getting raided. Again, not too much more to report on with that, but quite an interesting story. Let's get on into the headline story that I originally wanted to talk about, but that one was just a breaking news thing going on. So I figured I'd cover it. Everybody, make sure that you like this video, subscribe to the channel, follow, whatever, comment what you are thinking, get that comment section going. I see Kells is in here. Is he the first fall guy in connection with Epstein? Maybe Diddy is the first fall guy. Maybe he's the first one to go down. Maybe he is. We'll see. But everybody, leave those comments, follow the video or follow the channel, everything like that. But I want to talk about Candace Owens. Candace Owens was recently removed from the Daily Wire. Candace has had a meteoric rise in stardom stemming from a TED Talk over 10 years ago, in which she recalled an instance in which people were genuinely racist towards her, but then also fighting back against the victim stereotype. Candace Owens has really created a brand that can only be described as being a fire brand. Somebody who is intentionally shocking, but also truthful in her opinions to garner attention on some of the less talked about issues in society. While Candace Owens and I disagree on multiple issues, not all, but on some, and if not even the issue, then sometimes just the way to go about it, she has now been ousted from the Daily Wire. And the reasons, I don't know. I'm not sure how I feel about them, but I want to know how you feel about them. It has caused the term Christ is King to be plastered across Twitter for multiple days. I wake up on Palm Sunday, the week before Easter, the beginning of Holy Week, to see Christ is King trending, and I initially have a thought of hope. In an increasingly secular and atheist society, one that denies God's existence and openly mocks him, it's reassuring to see that Christ is King has taken over our social media, other than the other dribble that tends to consume our feeds. But then I look, and Christ is King is trending not because people are celebrating that of the Lord coming, dying for our sins and being resurrected in a way only that the Son of God could do. No, it's trending for a multitude of reasons, because there's argument as to whether or not the statement is an anti-Semitic dog whistle, or if it's simply the truth, or if it's somewhere in between. Candace Owens was initially fired for a multitude of times in which she might have said words or phrases or even investigated stories and reported on stories that seem to be in some way counter to the pro-Israel and pro-Jewish faith. Some of which within the Daily Wire have accused her of being either outright blatantly anti-Semitic or using dog whistles of so. Now, let's look at one of the most talked about clips that have really sparked this kind of discussion as to whether or not this is an anti-Semitic dog whistle. Here is Andrew Klavan, one of a Jew by Jew by culture or by race, but not by religion. He has since been saved. He is a Christian man now. Here is his discussion of this topic. Take a look and a listen.
Grown. You know, when I did this, by the way, the priest who baptized me said, you know, Christians won't accept you. You'll still be a Jew. And I said, well, I am. That's my race. I'm a Jew. I'm proud of my race. It's a great race. It's done many, many great things, including write the Bible. And, you know, I am a Jew. But that hasn't happened at all. Christians have welcomed me with open arms, except this Christ the King anti-Semitic crowd. Christ is the King. And one day every knee will bow and recognize it, because he's not just my king, he's king of the universe. But when you use that phrase to mean that God has abandoned his chosen people, the Jews, through whom he came into this world incarnate, and that he's broken his promises.
So before I continue this, I want to point out some of the things that he said. So he said, besides this Christ is the King crowd, that's the people that haven't been open with him. Now, while I don't necessarily know that to be a particular sector of Christianity or even a specific sect of Christianity, I do seem to see a lot of people on Twitter right now going crazy saying Christ is king to people that are claiming that that's anti-Semitic, people that are saying it towards people of the Jewish faith. It's very interesting to see kind of the dynamic of what is this infighting that I didn't even know really existed on the internet. Then he also refers, this is another thing that some of that crowd, those that are really blasting the Christ is King message on social media, they're also claiming that or getting unhappy with Klavan for saying that the Jewish people were God's chosen people. Now, if you think about it to an extent, they were, at least in the story of Jesus. Jesus himself was a Jew through life. And, I mean, what do you think, that Jesus was a Christian? That Jesus himself? No, he himself growing up was not a Christian. He knew he was the Son of God. We can only assume. We also know that Mary knew him to be the son of God, and others surrounding him knew him to be the Son of God. But then he was persecuted for saying so, was crucified, and died for our sins. He is the King. He is also the King of the Jews. Christ is king. It's absolutely true. But I question, when you say it with certain intentions, does that change its meaning? Potentially. Let's keep listening what else Klavan has to say.
His covenant with the Jews. You are quoting scripture like Satan does in the Bible. You are quoting scripture to your purposes, and that to me is specifically wicked. You know, when you spit that phrase at Ben Shapiro, my friend Ben Shapiro, And you know, I understand this. All of you who love Ben, and I love Ben, and Jordan Peterson, you all want to see them find Jesus because you know what joy and freedom that gives you, and you certainly feel that it alters your relationship with God. But when I think about this, to be honest with you, you know, and I know some people will disagree with this, but life is not a game show where you guess the name of God and you get to go to heaven. Honk, you know, yes, the name is Jesus. I look at Ben's life and I think if Ben were to embrace Jesus Christ, it would cause devastation to his family, to the people who love him, to the people who listen to him, to his position in the world. I just have this feeling that God has put this guy where he wants him to do what he wants him to do. And as you know, I feel that, you know, the Jews were not abandoned by God.
So here's the thing. That's part of that is what sparked this outrage is he comes out and many others claim that Candace Owens used the term Jesus is King as an anti-Semitic dog whistle of some kind. Now, I want to start some of this by saying, can we just like get our crap together as a conservative movement and as Christians and those of faith in general? And those are of faith in general. Now remember that when I say get our crap together, remember that that's the common thread of all of this. Because I'm sometimes going to sound, when I talk about this, I'm going to sound like I agree with one side or I agree with the other. I think everybody's at fault here. And I'm going to break that down a little bit more. But I want to go into, because then the Daily Wire, Andrew Klavan, Ben Shapiro started getting a lot of online hate because this story was reduced to the Daily Wire, to people incorrectly stating that the Daily Wire claims that saying Christ is king is anti-Semitic. That is not what is being said. That is not what is being said. What is being said is that saying Christ is king with a certain demeanor or with a certain intention or a certain purpose changes its meaning. And in ways can be deemed anti-Semitic, depending on how you are saying it. It's the same way as how when the left says Black Lives Matter, it's different than when you definitively say Black Lives Matter. When I say Black Lives Matter, I mean all Black lives. I mean or when I say all lives matter, I mean all lives. When you say Black Lives Matter, do you mean the unborn? No. And if you don't, you're disingenuous and you're rude. Just as much as if somebody were to say Christ is king, but they're not actually a practicing Christian themselves. They don't actually understand what it means to say Christ is king, but they're saying it at somebody who is Jewish, who doesn't necessarily believe that Christ is the Son of God. Then yeah, maybe it's not even necessarily anti-Semitic. It's just not purposeful or not of any positive purpose. That's exactly what Jeremy Boring says in this tweet that he posted earlier today. Take a look right here. I'll even read it to you guys too. We can take a look at what Jeremy Boring, because he had gotten a question. If you look at the bottom of this, you have saying Christ is king isn't anti-Semitic, and we can all see that you picked Holy Week to tell Christians that they should be ashamed of their religion. This will not stand. So again, that's the reduction of what is actually being said. Jeremy Boring explains it here. How is saying Christ is king anti-Semitic? The same way anything becomes anti-Semitic when it is used for the purpose of expressing anti-Semitism. It's like asking, quote, how does a shovel become a murder weapon when it is used to murder someone? This isn't hard. A shovel is not innately a murder weapon. Saying Christ is king is not innately anti-Semitic. It's all about how a thing is used. Saying, quote, eat some cornbread is not racist if you say it to my 3-year-old when she is refusing her dinner. If I start saying it in response to an X post by Black commentators I don't like, it has taken on a meaning beyond what is innate. In other words, it is connotatively racist, not denotatively racist. So, too, Christ is king may be anti-Semitic in connotation, while in denotation when it is being used to express anti-Semitism. When did this become so? It has always been so. It is so. Is it so? Yes, innately. Additionally, saying Christ is king for an evil purpose, like using it as a weapon to express your hatred or disdain for the Jews, is a grave sin. It plainly violates the third commandment, thou shalt not carry forth the name of the Lord thy God in vain. Surely, if I rape and murder someone like Hamas did on 10/7, and all the while I shout at them, Christ is king or God is great, we would agree that I've committed 3 grievous crimes, not 2. Rape, yes. Murder, yes. But also the great crime of implicating God in the first 2. So one must be cautious of how one uses the name of God. God will not be mocked. Invoking him in vain self-promotion or to troll Jews or to attack your political rivals is to carry forth his name in vain. Jesus Christ is king, sure enough, king of heaven and of earth, king of Jew and Gentile alike, yet a bruised reed he will not break, and a faintly burning wick he will not smother. So do not use his name as a cudgel to bash those in whom the light of God yet flickers. If you do, you are a blasphemer and an anti-Semite and a piece of crap generally. And the fear of the Lord is clearly not in you. It will be though. So why do I read all of that? Because I believe the context is important. I can understand where Jeremy Boring is coming from. I agree with him that the same statement used in different locations with different purposes, with different tones, can change its meaning. That's why connotation and denotation are words in and of themselves. However, Candace Owens also claims that she had no anti-Semitic purpose for this. Let's take a look at she didn't directly respond, but you can tell. So that tweet that I have on screen currently was posted this morning at 8:27 a.m. Well, at 9:45 a.m., so just over an hour afterwards, Candace Owens posted this on her Twitter. She said the reason why some people believe that with enough insistence they can convince American Christians that the basic truth Christ is king is actually anti-Semitic is because they have been successfully spiking the ball on Christianity for the past 60 years, inch by inch, by pretending to be our friends and making us fearful of having the media project us as overzealous is how they have scored so many wins. It's how mocking Christ has become commonplace in Hollywood. The reality is that they accuse us of what they are guilty of. They hold contempt for Christianity. The reality is that Christ consciousness is rising throughout the world, and any person who is attempting to use methods of psychology to make people pause before they profess their faith is not on the side of goodness. Now, here's the thing, is I will say any day of the week, Christ is king. However, I don't necessarily know if Candace herself ever used it as a, quote, anti-Semitic dog whistle. She very well might have. I also know that there was a comment that she made that was in some way referencing the idea that Jews drank the blood of Christians. I don't know every minute detail of that comment. However, I look at all of this and it seems so unnecessarily petty. It seems so unnecessarily petty. When it comes to religion and the state of it in the world right now, I think that you are stupid if you, as a Christian, believe that your enemy is that of a Jew. If you're both devout in your faith, at least you have faith and you recognize God. The devil's biggest actors right now are not that of Jew or Christian or Catholic or Methodist. No, I would even say that the biggest actor of the devil isn't even that of a Muslim or of a Satanist. You heard me. I do not believe that the biggest actor of the devil is a Satanist. Why do I say that? Now, I'm not saying that a Satanist isn't in some way acting for the devil, but the biggest actor for the devil are the seculars, are the atheists. Because an atheist denies the existence of God. and thus also denies the existence of the devil. Same with those that are secular, those that want no mention of God in public society, in government. Because if you deny God, you inherently deny the existence of the devil. And if you deny the existence of the devil, then the world becomes his playground. A Satanist sheds light on the devil and while praising him, still recognizes his existence. A Jew, while maybe not necessarily recognizing Christ as king and thus potentially denying their the option of them being saved, still recognizes the existence of good and God, and thus indirectly sees the existence of the devil. We live in a society right now where secularism almost took over. If you look at the numbers, the media will never tell you, but if you look at the numbers, those that are coming to Christ in some way, or even at least religion, are increasing. People are unhappy and they realize that maybe God, prayer, and religion are the ways back to it, to some level of happiness. And so when we look at this, if you asked me gun to my head whose side would I choose, I'd probably be more on that of the Daily Wire. Language does have meaning, words have definitions, but the societal meaning of them can change based on the way that you say them. However, Candace Owens has every right to her beliefs, and only she truly knows the level of bigotry that she really has, or even the level of discrimination that she has within the words that she says. However, she is not my enemy. I simply don't care about how much hatred she has. What I believe is that we have a larger enemy to be facing, and for us to be ganging up and taking a side between Candace Owens and the Daily Wire is childish. Because while we fight each other, the devil is running rampant among us and happy with our infighting. Because with us fighting, he's more than welcome to take hold of everyone else. But that's my thoughts. What are yours? Let me know in the comments. Share this with your friends. Like this video wherever you guys are watching from. I'd really appreciate it if you guys would like this. I can pull this up on screen. That was a big monologue for me. A lot to say when it comes to all of that. I'm going to take a sip here. Let me know. The comment section is a little dry. Keep it coming, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking. I see Cal's on Twitter had a very nice thing to say. I'll bring your comment on screen if you want it seen. I'd love to be able to share what you guys think, because this show isn't just about me. So let's see what else is going on. I see some other people have reposted. Thank you for that. Share this with your friends. Comment what you're thinking. All of that fun stuff. Let's get this going. We have more to discuss here today. And if you are just tuning in, if you haven't been tuned in, I want to remind you guys, I did accept my law school admission to Liberty University. I'm so excited to be attending there in the fall. I will make sure to chronicle my journeys educationally and socially at the most Christian conservative school in the United States. I will chronicle all of that here on my YouTube channel and other platforms. So make sure that you like this, subscribe, follow wherever you're at, share this with your friends, comment what you think, because I am going to make sure that I bring you guys that great content. Up next, we're going to answer the question of, is Elon Musk right-wing? Is he a right-wing troll, as the lefties would have you believe? Is he a right-wing troll? We're going to talk about that and other things. But once again, I need to take a breath break. But keep the comments coming, guys. Let me know what you guys are thinking. Blow it up. I see Demon Girl in the comments was commenting about Andrew Klavan, saying he reminds you of an old angry professor. I don't know. I like Andrew Klavan, but that's just me personally. I know others have different beliefs. But yes, let me know what you guys think in the comments. Keep the comments coming. I see a lot of different people, especially joining through X, through Twitter. Make sure you guys are following on X and Twitter. I'd really appreciate it. And comment. And we'll get into this next story soon about about Elon Musk and is he right wing? A lot of people claim that Elon Musk is right wing. We'll talk about this a little bit more. Whew. Make sure, like I said, you guys follow wherever you're at. We'll be getting to some more Elon Musk content here soon. I just got to pull it up. This is what happens when I run my own show. I got to pull all these things up. Pulling it up now to make sure that I can bring you guys some of the best content possible on the interwebs. Blow up that comment section, everybody. I'd really appreciate it. Don't forget to do so. Let me know what you guys are thinking about anything that's going on in the world today. Did I miss something? I could have missed something. I'm not always on top of everything. Like I said in the past, I've been doing a lot of different things, doing a lot of different work. So I want to make sure if I miss anything that I can apologize for it and I can do more to be better for you guys. Okay. Is Elon Musk right wing? He doesn't seem to think so. Out of the Daily Wire, give me one moment. Some of my pages are not working here. I'm getting it working. Give me one moment and I will get it working. Sorry, guys. Don't forget to support the show by liking this video, commenting what you think, sharing this with your friends, all that fun stuff. But is Elon Musk right wing? He lays out his personal beliefs and also claims that he's a centrist. This is out of the Daily Wire. Billionaire entrepreneur Elon Musk voiced his confusion over political partisanship in a post he shared via X, saying that while he believes himself to be more of a centrist, his critics seem certain that he's right wing. Musk was inspired by a post in which I will pull up right here, in which a girl claimed that he was right wing. I'll show it on screen. Let me pull it up right here for you guys. So if we go right here and you guys take a look on my screen, Elon Musk says, this girl had said, going back in time to try to explain how crazy it is that we have a guy who makes electric cars and rocket ships and brain computer interfaces, yet a bunch of people hate him because they don't like his politics or whatever, and having them show me a cave drawing of an astronaut meme. That's what he was inspired by. Then you look here at what he says. He goes, this is a battle to the death with the anti-civilizational woke mind virus. My positions are centrist. Secure borders, safe and clean cities. Don't bankrupt America with spending. Racism against any race is wrong. No sterilization below the age of consent. Is this right wing? Many consistently in the lamestream media push that Elon Musk is right wing. And I've been saying it this whole time. I'm like, this dude literally is a post-humanist individual in which he pushes the idea that we should have implants in our brains. Like, this guy is not a traditional right-wing conservative. Now, I agree with a lot of his positions, but why do I agree with them? Because they're common sense. Yes, we should have secure borders. This is something that was centrist back in the late 1990s. Bill Clinton believed that we should have secure borders. Barack Obama in the early 2000s believed that we should have secure borders. Racism against any race is wrong. That's common sense. We shouldn't bankrupt America. Common sense. And although it shouldn't need to be said, the beliefs in the Constitution and what America was founded on are also at one point were centrist. A lot of people in the media are trying to claim right now, well, the right has gotten so conservative because of Trump, or the left has gotten so progressive. The left has gotten really progressive, but it's not the right getting so conservative. No, it's when you have an entire party that is claiming to be a progressive party. What does progressive even mean? Progressive means that progress for the sake of progress, not actually progress for the sake of doing better or doing good. It's progressing in their ideology, which is not progressing America. It is regressing America. It is the fall of Rome before our eyes. And that is what the left is asking for. And so it has become a right-wing agenda to believe in centrist ideology. And then you have the lamestream media that consistently goes after things. In fact, Rasmussen reports actually clarified and validated Elon Musk's viewpoint. He said, luckily, most Americans still agree with freedom of speech. 74% saying protecting freedom of speech is more important. And 16% saying protecting people from offensive speech is more important. So most people do agree that we should, in fact, support freedom of speech and that that's more important than protecting people's feelings. However, then you will get people like Don Lemon who will ask Elon Musk things such as this. Take a look and a listen to this clip from an interview earlier last week. Right here.
Yes, you want censorship and I don't.
No, I don't want censorship at
Yes,
all.
you do.
No, I want responsibility.
You desperately want censorship.
No, if I want a
You
censorship,
want censorship so bad you can taste it.
no, that's not true. It's not true. I think that there's right and wrong. And I think
therefore
that,
you want censorship.
and I think that when you have a platform that's as big as yours and as powerful as yours and as influential as yours, and you are a person of consequence to the world with what you do, that there is a certain responsibility that goes along with what you have on your platform and what you put out to the world. And I think that's important. You don't see that responsibility.
I think we have a responsibility to adhere to the law, and if people want the law changed, they should talk to their elected representative and get the law changed, and then we will adhere to the law.
Okay.
But if you want us to go beyond the law, that is us deciding to be censors.
So,
And I'm against censorship. I'm in favor of freedom of speech.
Yeah.
And freedom of speech only is relevant when people you don't like say things you don't like. Otherwise, it has no meaning.
My apologies, everybody, getting back right here to that. But as you can see, Elon Musk himself recognized, and Don Lemon is trying to come after him for this idea of censorship. The reason for my brief exit was because I needed to plug in my laptop. My apologies for that. But Don Lemon tries to come after Elon Musk saying, I want accountability. I want censorship. I want people to have accountability for their actions, everything under the sun with that. But Elon Musk himself is like, no, we need freedom of speech. So why is it that when the American populace believes that freedom of speech is more important than your feelings or the quote unquote accountability that the left always tries to claim? Why is it that we seem to believe that we're not allowed to have a certain opinion? Why is it? It's because the mainstream media and those that have the money and the means push out these constant messages that people need to be censored, that they need to be silenced because they go against the main narrative, because they go against the narrative that would benefit those in positions of power. And that's exactly what these people do. And these are the narratives that are being pushed. So is Elon Musk right wing? No. No. The problem is that the mainstream media that is so hell-bent on literally brainwashing the American public has enough of their claws gripped into the American public to where you believe that believing that a country should have borders is a right-wing opinion, or believing that children shouldn't be taking puberty blockers or having their genitals chopped off or an axe wound shoved between their legs is for some reason a right-wing extremist opinion. The left has gotten so crazy and the progressives have gotten so crazy, and the mainstream media has their hand in the pocket of Big Dem to where they will push these narratives out to people. And thank God we have people like Elon Musk who has that level of money and power to be able to counteract it and go against it. That's exactly what he does. And here's actually an example of that is he was able to post a video on his own site that directly went against the leftists' border plan. Take a look and a listen right here.
The Democrat open borders plan to entrench single-party rule, explained in under 2 minutes. 1. Flood the country with untold millions of illegals by land, sea, and air from all over the world, enough to eclipse the populations of 36 individual U.S. states so far. 2. Prioritize the needs of these millions of non-citizens over the needs of the American citizen, with free flights, buses, hotels, meals, and phones, ensuring their loyalty to the political party that imported them. 3. Keep them in the country at all costs, even when they commit violent crime like murder and rape. Attack the language used to describe the criminals, as opposed to the criminals themselves. Slander critics as racist. 4. Ensure their privileges are made irrevocable with city and state sanctuary laws that act as population magnets. Codify permanent status and ensure non-cooperation with ICE. 5. Count the non-citizens in the census that will determine congressional apportionment in the House of Representatives. As of now, that would equal 13 extra congressional districts, a tremendous amount of electoral power. 6. Wage a massive, heavily funded lawfare campaign to change state voting laws that legalize mass mail-in ballots, no signature verification, and no proof of citizenship requirements, making it nearly impossible to prove voter fraud. 7. Lock in the permanent voting majority with campaign promises of lavish benefits and permanent privileges, enshrining generational fealty to the Democrat Party. 8. Win elections. 9. Entrenched single-party rule has been achieved. The best part? Your tax dollars are paying for it.
Everything that was said in that is true. The important thing to recognize, though, is that was posted and reposted by the most wealthy man in the world. It goes up and down, it fluctuates, but one of the most wealthy men in the world. And when you have that, when you have somebody, when so many of those that have such concentrated wealth and power are on the opposition, and we have at least one that's willing to say things that are relatively common sense, that countries should have borders, and also, point out exactly how those that also have a significant concentrated level of wealth and power are using it to the detriment of this country. It's important to say kind of a thank you for standing up for that. Speaking of the border, however, there was 200,000 deportation cases that were dismissed because the Biden admin failed to file paperwork. Seriously. So Biden will get up in front of the entire nation during his State of the Union and he'll tell you that, oh man, we're going to do so much work to help the border. And like, I feel so bad for Lincoln Riley and like that family, and no illegal should be here, blah, blah, blah. He'll give you that lip service. But then we'll get stories like this out of the Daily Wire. 200,000 deportation cases dismissed because Biden admin failed to file paperwork. The Biden administration failed to file court papers in hundreds of thousands of deportation cases, which were, as a result, tossed by judges. The Department of Homeland Security enforces immigration laws by issuing a notice to appear to each illegal immigrant and filing it in court, but in approximately 200,000 cases, 200,000 cases in which NTAs were issued to aliens at the border, triggering the creation of a court date, Department of Homeland Security never filed the actual paper with the court, according to new data obtained by the Transactional Records Access Clearinghouse, an academic group better known as TRAC. In immigration courts in Houston, Texas, and Miami, Florida, both immigration hotbeds, more than half of their deportation cases have been dismissed for that reason since the fiscal year of 2021. Quote, these large numbers of dismissals and what then happens raise serious concerns the nonpartisan group affiliated with Syracuse University, said in its report. The percentage of immigration cases that were dismissed skyrocketed immediately upon Joe Biden taking office, rising from 0.1% in 2017 and 1.2% in 2019 to 10.6% in 2021. So it used to be like around 1% of cases, which is still a lot, but it used to just be around 1% of cases would get dismissed because people forgot to file paperwork or there was an issue with paperwork. And then in 2021, it skyrocketed to 10.6% of cases. 1 out of every 10 illegal immigrant case that was supposed to have a court date got dismissed because they forgot to file paperwork. That's insane. Insane. If the case is dismissed because the government has not filed paperwork by the time the court date rolls around, the government can simply file a new case against the alien. But the track obtained data that allowed it to see that nearly 75% of the time, Department of Homeland Security never bothered to do so. So you could literally remedy your previous mistake, and they decided not to. This is how non-committed the Biden administration is to preserving America, to preserving the border that we have, preserving your safety. And so if you're on the fence, if you are brainwashed into believing that you're a right-wing extremist for believing we should have a secure border, look at how the current administration is handling this. And so if you at some point were like, well, we can't really totally blame Biden for like Laken Riley and stuff, you're right in the fact that Laken Riley died at the hands of an illegal immigrant. No blame should be taken from that immigrant. However, when you look at this as well, hundreds of thousands of immigrants just had their court date, the entire justice system. There is no point to our American justice system anymore because our president and his administration isn't even following the traditional and simplest parts of the process to ensure that people that are breaking our laws are following or having justice brought upon them. But it's okay, everybody. Don't worry. Border czar Kamala Harris is on it. Border czar Kamala Harris is on it. In fact, Kamala Harris unknowingly clapped along as people were protesting her. This is a real story. We're going to take a look at this video, and then I'm going to explain to you exactly what's actually going on in this video. It is probably one of the funniest things. Kamala Harris is just a meme inside of a meme inside of a meme. So, and also, before I get to this, don't forget everybody to like this video, subscribe, follow the channel, comment on the video. Comment right now. Everybody comment. Even if it's just, hey, Kev, how's it going? So everybody comment right now. I better see comments from everybody watching. I want to see it. And share this, repost it, all that fun stuff. But I want to share this video with you guys of Kamala Harris getting protested, and she doesn't even know it. This is just how clueless border czar Vice President Kamala Harris is. Keep watching. This is so funny. This is so funny. You want to know why it's funny? I'm going to explain to you guys why this is funny. Okay, so you can see right around, watch this. So she's clapping. And then she stops real quick. Oh, watch that one more time. Clap. And then she's getting told something. You can see her kind of stop. Now she's not doing it anymore. You want to know why? I'm going to keep playing this in the background as B-roll with the sound turned off. But you want to know why she stopped clapping? You want to know why Kamala stopped clapping? Is because she was clapping along with a song that was in Spanish that was protesting her during her visit to Puerto Rico. Harris might be the dumbest vice president in the history of our country. She kept clapping along until the aide told her what they were saying. She says, or what they were chanting. You want to know what they were chanting? They said, "We want to know, Kamala, what did you come here for? We want to know. The vice president is here making history. We want to know what she thinks of the colony," a man sang. "Long live free Palestine and Haiti too." These people were protesting her. "Why are you here?" is essentially what they're saying. "We want to know, what did you come here for? What did you come here for?" They're protesting you, Kamala. And you're over here clapping along like a fool, like an idiot. Dumbest vice president in the history of America. Honestly, she's got to be. But that's why the Babylon Bee comes out and roasts her in probably what I consider to be the best roast against pretty much anybody ever. I loved it. Sorry, I know my computer is trying to catch up with my ability to. Here we go. Okay, so now we have the Babylon Bee that comes out. And they have an article that came out. We're going to go through it today. We're going to play a game. Everybody, we're going to play a game today. And it is Kamala Harris or Elmo. Who said it? Kamala Harris or Elmo. That's the game we're going to play today. So let's all play along right here. Kamala Harris or Elmo. Who said it? We're going to start off with this first one. I want to see in the comments. You guys better be commenting. Be ready. Be ready. Who said it? Kamala Harris or Elmo? We're going to start off with this one right here. I love to learn about it all. The things that are big and the things that are small. Who said it? In the comments, let me know. Was that Kamala Harris or was it Elmo? Once again, I love to learn. I learn about it all. The things that are big and the things that are small. Who was it? Who was it? Demon Goral, who isn't real, was right. It is Elmo. That was a gimme. I'll give you that. That was a gimme. That was a bit of a gimme. But let's keep going with this game. I like this game. This is fun. This is another one here. Is this Kamala Harris or is this Elmo? It's time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day, it is time for us to agree. Is that Kamala Harris or is that Elmo? Let me know in the comments. It's time for us to do what we have been doing, and that time is every day. Every day, it is time for us to agree. Kamala Harris or Elmo? Well, if you said Kamala, you got it right. You got it right. Maybe that was another gimme. Let's try this one here. Kamala Harris or Elmo, everybody? I think it's important to be kind. Because if you're kind to somebody, then they'll be kind to somebody. And it goes on and on and on. Is that Kamala Harris or is it Elmo? Is it Kamala Harris or is it Elmo? I think it's important to be kind. Because if you're kind to somebody, then they'll be kind to somebody. And it goes on and on and on. Everybody let me know right now. Kamala Harris or Elmo? Kamala Harris or Elmo? Now, some of you might have thought that was Kamala Harris, but in fact, that was actually Elmo. The quote goes in full. Elmo thinks it's important to be kind because if you're kind to somebody, then they'll be kind to somebody, and it goes on and on and on. That is Elmo, not the vice president. But it looks like I might have tricked Kel because that was actually Elmo, not Kamala Harris. Listen to this one. As we all know, elections matter. And when folks vote, they order what they want. And in this case, they got what they asked for. Elmo or Kamala? I'll admit this one's kind of a gimme, but I'll read it one more time. As we all know, elections matter. And when folks vote, they order what they want. And in this case, they get what they asked for. That's a bit of a gimme. And that's Kamala. That's Kamala, I'll tell you. But this next one is an interesting one. Kamala or Elmo? We got two more here. And there's more on the website. You guys go check out Babylon Bee. They're not a sponsor or anything. I just thought this article was funny. And you can go check out these. But listen to this one. We must together work together to see where we are headed, and where we are going. Again, is this Kamala or is it Elmo? We must together work together to see where we are headed, and where we are going. Is that quote? Is that Kamala or is it Elmo? We must together work together to see where we are headed, and where we are going. Kamala or Elmo? If you were stumped by that one, you should be, because it was actually both. At least according to this article, incredibly, both Kamala Harris and Elmo have said this exact quote. Oh my gosh. And finally, the last one that we're going to do from this list is uncontrollable laughing. Uncontrollable, annoying laughter. Is that Elmo or is it Kamala? Once again, it's both. We both know Kamala loves to laugh in the most annoying way, and so does Elmo. And in fact, I'd much rather hear Elmo's laugh. But that's today's version of Kamala, or Elmo. Who did it better? We see who got Kamala's word salad. Absolutely. Everybody, as we move on with the show here, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. And let's keep it going here. Get those comments going, guys. I'm going to be working on pulling up our next story that we could talk about, because I want to react to this thing here. I have some TikToks to react to as well. But I want to get this next story pulled up as well, so I can make sure that it goes, that we get everything going here smoothly. But no matter where you are watching from, don't forget to share this video with your friends, and to repost it. I'd really appreciate it. Okay, let's get going here, everybody. So next we're going to talk about Trump. Trump gets a $454 million bond, but then the lefties claim he gets special treatment when it gets cut down. And now Vivek Ramaswamy is also joining the chat. We're going to talk about all of this today in this story here. We're going to start off, it's pretty simply here. So Trump, earlier last week, had been sentenced to having a $454 million bond. And that was supposed to be due today, Monday, the 25th. And it was supposed to be a payment that came as a result of civil fraud allegations from the New York Attorney General, Letitia James. And many had claimed that this entire sentencing and all of it was absurd and ridiculous as a punishment for something that really shouldn't even be a crime. One of the people that claimed this was Kevin O'Leary. Kevin O'Leary being the Shark Tank guy, Mr. Wonderful. And he said, quote, "It has absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump at this point. This is an attack on America. And I don't know how you can look at it any other way." Kevin O'Leary has also in the past made it clear that he is by no means a Republican or a Democrat or clearly a Trump supporter, anything like that. Take a look at him on Fox News, talking a little bit more about this case.
The message about the American brand You think about America, the reason this is the number one economy on earth is that we have laws and we have due process and we have property rights. It attracts foreign capital from all around the world. All of that is being shaken to the core here. The concept of seizing assets in 30 days on a bond number that's never been issued. No insurance bond company's ever issued anything near this. So there was no chance it was going to happen. And only giving 30 days notice and time, that's a really bad message. And I think New Yorkers should think well past Trump, whether he's president or not, or whether this attorney general is gone in 4 years or not, it's irrelevant. This is case setting against the American brand, the most stable country on earth, anywhere to put capital to work over a long period of time, particularly in real estate, is the United States of America. This is an assault on what we believe to be core. And I find it extraordinary. I think it's very troubling. It has absolutely nothing to do with Donald Trump at this point, in my view, and it is completely bipartisan. This is an attack on America. And I don't know how you can look at it any other way. And as an investor, and I know plenty of investors who are completely disturbed by this, but I mean, no one is going to put any money to work in New York in these amounts until this thing settles down. The whole world is watching, and everybody's waiting for one thing we haven't got yet: adult supervision. Where is it? Where are the adults in this crazy narrative? Certainly there's got to be adult supervision at some point. And I understand, you know, the war going on here and all the political yada, yada, woof, woof, woof. But we need an adult in the room now. This is the United States of America under siege.
This is the United States of America under siege. Kevin O'Leary being an absolute firebrand in that, basically calling out exactly the problem with our current court system. And as I said earlier, Joe Biden's court system can't even seem to handle people that break the law by illegally entering this country. However, they will go after Donald Trump in the most insane of ways. Kevin O'Leary has also explained on multiple instances as to how this entire case against Trump is stupid because pretty much everyone does exactly what he got convicted of doing in New York. And so we have everybody. There's no real estate market really in New York anymore. You can't actually practice the way that Donald Trump and many others had in New York for quite a long time. This is an attack on the American way of life. However, at the same time, what we will also get is things like this, where because it is Donald Trump, people do not care about the rule of law. They do not care about the preservation of the justice system. They do not care about the attack on America. All they care about is that Donald Trump, orange bad, and they're going to go after him. And so you get people like Michael Steele right here, who you can see, he goes, yet again, a real Donald Trump gets special treatment with his own private system of justice. The New York Appeals Court has decided to give Trump more time to pay less money by reducing blah, 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 give him 10 days to get the money. So he goes down from $454 million to $175 million. And he gets 10 more days to collect the money. This makes absolutely no sense. You want to know, here's the thing. Is an appeals court ruled this, an appellate court ruled this. This is the way that the justice system works. However, they don't like when the justice system works that in any way that it's actually supposed to. They only like when the justice system goes in their favor. That's why they get mad at the Supreme Court for having a completely sound decision on Dobbs v. Jackson, but they get mad at them because it doesn't give them their right to kill babies. And so then you get people like this on MSNBC who go absolutely off on Trump's bond ruling, and it has no real legal base in why he's complaining. Take a look and a listen at this absolute shill for the progressive ideology.
Honestly, this is so infuriating. I don't even know what to do. I don't even know if I care what the process is that these judges are arriving at. Whatever it is, it's flawed. I can tell you that much. I mean, David put it well. This is a different process for this person. We have decided that he gets his own private court of justice. He has a private plane. He has private clubs that he lives in. You know, apparently, he basically fashioned himself his own private militia to try to take over the Capitol.
Oh my God. What a dramatic, the Oscar goes to this man for stupidest person in the world. Or best actor and drama queen. Because not only is he just being like, he has his own militia for January 6th. Shut up. His own militia. You want to know the amount of people that went into the Capitol on January 6th? And assuming, and here, let's even go into the assumption that maybe the left was right, that there were no FBI agents there that day. Let's like pretend that that's actually the truth. Like 200 to 300 people in the Capitol on January 6th. You want to call that a private militia to do Trump's bidding? Get out of here. And that's even just like the scratching the surface of the stupidity of this man. He's also acting like he talks about a private court that now, well, he has these private planes. You realize that like he's also has a very significant net worth. Like he had a private plane before he was even president or anything. He lived a very like, I get to own everything I want to do before he was president because he's a pretty wealthy man. But along with that, the private court system actually wasn't set up in favor of Donald Trump. I will agree. I'll agree with this man in that Donald Trump has a private court system, but it's not in the fact, or a private justice system. It's not in his benefit. Donald Trump is a private system for the fact that the left has created it to prosecute Donald Trump for things that aren't even crimes. Or if they are, they have a selective level of justice that weaponizes our system to be negative towards him. And that is the issue. And so when he wants to talk about, oh, well, he has a private system, it's not to benefit him. He shouldn't even have to pay a single dime for what they're claiming he should. He shouldn't. The only reason he is because of the weaponized justice system. And for it to go from 454 to 175 through an appellate court system is actually how the system is supposed to go. If you appeal for something and the appellate court hears it, then you go through that system and then they decide, they make a new decision or they make the same decision.
You know, now he's getting his own private system of justice. This is an absolute travesty. It would not happen for anybody else. Anybody else, it would be like, sorry, buddy, you lost, pay up.
For anybody else, he wouldn't have been put through it in the first place.
For him, he gets his own set of rules.
For him, he gets the Department of Justice weaponized against him.
Legally, Tristan, how is that done?
We just saw it. They just decided that the appellate court has now just decided they're going to swoop in and just change it.
Okay. Few things I want to point out with this one now. The appellate court just swoops in and decides, no, they went through the process of appealing the decision and the decision was appealed. They didn't just swoop in. It wasn't like, oh man, Trump's going to have to pay. And then the appellate court was just like, no, we're going to change that. No, they were signaled to review the decision. Also, not to mention the fact that if you guys look at this, I want to see if my mouse comes up here. Do you guys see this book back here? There's a book behind, and it's clearly displayed, almost purposefully behind this man that, I don't know if you guys can see it. Let me know in the comments if you can see my mouse. I'm outlining it as a white book. And if you can read it, I'm going to make this full screen. I'm going to make this video full screen right here. And if you guys can see it, this you could see right here. It says taking down Trump right there. So are you going to trust this guy? Are you guys going to trust this guy right here when literally on his own screen, his own background that he sets up? He sets it up to say taking down Trump. I'm not going to trust this guy. I don't care about your legal opinion. I don't believe that you actually have any sound advice when you are hell-bent on taking down Trump over actually preserving any level of the rule of law. So, yeah, you're an idiot, and I don't trust you. I'll let him finish, though.
And that's it. And now the AG's office can now try to go up above them. I believe, I don't know what the details are because you just told us. I'm guessing this is coming from the First Department, Appellate Division, First Department. That's the intermediate court here in New York that would be issuing a decision here. I don't know if there's a remedy for the AG's office to go up to the Court of Appeals, which is our high court here in New York, and try to get them to basically countermand this order. But in my view, this is, without knowing more, unless there's some sort of other extenuating circumstance that we're going to learn here, this appears to be an absolute gross miscarriage of justice.
So let's.
It's a gross miscarriage of justice, really. Wait, that's the gross when literally Joe Biden should be convicted, or at least indicted on mishandling of documents just as much as Trump was in Florida, but he's not because he's a, quote, feeble old man. That's not a mischaracter of justice. Or when people are trying to kick Donald Trump off the ballot and saying that if you don't kick him off, it's destroying democracy, that's not a miscarriage of justice. But an appellate court, you get convicted of fraud, sentenced to something, and then you appeal it, and the appellate court makes a different ruling, just exactly how our system is set up to do. That's not a miscarriage. That is a miscarriage of justice. That is the problem. When the justice system actually works and is carried through the way that it's supposed to, that's the miscarriage of justice. This is patent idiocy. Like, this is patent idiocy. But then I find it even better so Letitia, because this all stemmed from Letitia James. And then we now have Vivek Ramaswamy entering the chat, and he claims that we should have that Letitia James should now be disbarred. I'm not even kidding you. I'm making sure I can find the video. Vivek comes out, and it's become kind of a viral clip now, in which he says, based on the 8th Amendment, Letitia James should be disbarred. So take a look and listen at exactly what Vivek has to say here about Letitia and the 8th Amendment. It's a great explanation as to kind of what happened and why this person, when we're talking about being disbarred too, if anybody doesn't know what that means, it means that she should lose her ability to practice law. Here's that.
James' crusade against Donald Trump is disgusting and is a threat to every American. When you have prosecutors who are elected to office on a promise of going after one particular individual as she campaigned on, then go on to keep a campaign promise using the legal system to do it, it's unjust. And this particular case reveals how ugly that is. In this case, you're talking about a crime for which there was literally no identifiable victim. The people who did business with Donald Trump weren't individual consumers. They were sophisticated financial institutions who made money from their dealings. And yet Letitia James is using a consumer protection statute to literally make up numbers and say, hey, you have hundreds of millions of dollars in penalties that you owe. You have bond to post by a particular date of an unreasonable magnitude that even no billionaire is regularly able to meet. And to say, if you don't do it, I'm going to start seizing your property. It's disgusting. And it is a threat to not only private property, but threat to the justice system and to the rights of every American. But the good news is there is an argument to push back against this in short order. And that's the 8th Amendment. The 8th Amendment prevents the imposition of excessive bail or excessive fines. And if there's ever an example that meets that to a T, it's the bond that's been demanded of Donald Trump in this disgusting New York Letitia James-led prosecution. This is an opportunity for the Supreme Court to step in and say, no, we're not going to stand for this kind of lawfare. Whether it's against Donald Trump or a Democrat, it's wrong. We don't want to empower prosecutors to be able to use bond and bail or bonds as a way of effectively achieving a goal that they couldn't achieve through the front door, which is bankrupting an opponent, even stopping them from being able to appeal those decisions. That's un-American. It needs to end now, not just for the protection of Donald Trump, but for the protection of every American. And in this disaster, I at least see a silver lining of some hope that that's exactly what we'll get from the Supreme Court. It's not just the current justices, not even the conservative ones, that would necessarily agree with this principle. Ruth Bader Ginsburg was a staunch defender of this part of the 8th Amendment as well. She's no longer with us, but the other justices are. And I hope this can be another 9-0 rebuke of the kind of lawfare that we're seeing against Donald Trump and indirectly against every American in this country today. And I think it could be the most important 8th Amendment case of the 21st century. I hope they bring it, and I hope they succeed.
I also hope they bring it, and I hope they succeed. There's a possibility here where we can actually find real justice against somebody who has directly been a part of weaponizing our justice system against Donald Trump. And Vivek lays out a pretty sound argument for that. And I don't agree with everything that Vivek always says, but that is one that I think that he actually comes up with a phenomenal argument for. Now, I'm getting into an hour and 15 minutes of this show, and while I seem to have a significant level of viewership all across all platforms, but especially on Twitter, make sure that you guys go check me out everywhere. Speechless with Kev Phares. And I got one more thing I'm going to talk about here, and I have other stories that I had to skip just because time did not allow. And because of that, I want to make sure that you guys go check out my YouTube channel at Speechless Kev, no matter where you're watching from. If you're watching, don't forget to like this video, subscribe, check out Speechless with Kev on YouTube, subscribe to it, comment what you think, share this with your friends, no matter where you're watching. If you're watching on Twitter right now, repost this. Repost it. It's really easy. Comment what you're thinking. Please. That's how we get more people to know about the news in a way that no one else is covering. The lamestream media doesn't want you to hear things like this. That's why I broadcast all these different channels. It's because if I don't, people won't hear about it. People won't know. And people won't know just how crazy these liberals are. So don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, and share it with your friends. I'll get to some comments after I get to this next part. But like I like to do, I'm gonna pull them all up here real quick. Actually, we're gonna react to some woke TikToks, or at least I think they're woke. Everybody, if you want to send me anything to react to, you always can. All you got to do is email it to speechlesskp@gmail.com. Speechlesskp@gmail.com. You can send me pretty much anything, and I will react to it. And that's what happened. I got a bunch of different videos to react to today, and we're gonna go through them. I might go in depth. I might not. It'll really depend on just how stupid or not stupid these people sound. And so I haven't seen any of these. I really haven't seen any of these videos yet. These are just different TikToks and videos that were sent to me. So let's react to them together. Let's look and listen. Everybody, today we're going to react to some woke TikToks here on Speechless. If you guys are just joining me, I'm Kev Phares, 23-year-old conservative activist, host of Speechless, not only on the radio, but also here on YouTube and Twitch, Twitter, Facebook, Rumble, wherever you're watching from. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel. Please subscribe, comment what you think. It's right down there, whatever you're thinking. Even if you just like it, say I like it. If you hate it, say I hate it. Share this with your friends, repost it, all that fun stuff. But let's get to these TikToks that were sent to me to my Gmail at speechlesskp@gmail.com. If you want to send me anything at all, I will respond. I will post it here if you want me to. If you want me to react to anything, check it out there. But let's react to some of these different TikToks, starting with this one from a lovely viewer right here.
The bullying internet account Libs of TikTok was given a spot on the Oklahoma Library Board, the statewide board. She is not from Oklahoma. The reason I bring this up is because these gestures, these far-right attacks, these elevations of anti-trans folks have deadly consequences. I'm sure you've heard by now the story of the non-binary student in that state who was bullied to death. Please hug a non-binary person today. Please find a
Okay, we'll let this keep going, but I got to put a pause there because the story that this individual is talking about is a person by the name of Nex Benedict, the one that was quote unquote bullied to death. Actually, it came out that even by the autopsy that Nex Benedict was not. And so for a lot of different reasons. First off, the bullying incident that was claimed was actually an incident in which Nex instigated an issue by pouring water on somebody that they did not like. I think it's a biological woman, so I'm going to say that she did not like, poured water on them, and then there ended up being some level of a fight between the students. When the student was in the hospital, Nex basically claimed or did actually admit to pouring the water, instigating the level of physical contact. And along with that, the autopsy found that these issues were, or that the death was self-inflicted. And so while that is so sad, we have to ask ourselves, is this because of bullying? Or is this because of a society that is entertaining delusion? Let's consider that. I don't know. What do you guys think? But let's keep listening here.
A non-binary person and show them respect, show them kindness. Please find your sister's kid, your coworker's cousin who is trans and non-binary, and be love, be compassion to them. Thank you.
Real love would be to tell somebody, hey, I feel for you in your struggle and your attempt to understand who you are, but you need to realize that just because you believe you're a woman doesn't make you a woman. Just because you believe you're a man doesn't make you a man. That would be real love. That would be real compassion. But instead, this person decides to continue to entertain something that is not that. So, okay, there's that one. Let's take a look at this one now here. If I told you my gender studies class final project was a pole dance to a Duster song, would you believe me? I absolutely would. You want to know why? Because gender studies is a waste of your time. Gender studies is a made up. I mean, like, if we were actually going to try to, I think it could actually be so beneficial if we were to actually try to discuss and say, what is the difference between man and woman? And let's study the difference between the genders and their roles and everything like that. That could be so beneficial. But instead, gender studies becomes just this incomprehensible mumbo jumbo of complete gibberish that people somehow, it's honestly the biggest scam in the world. You have idiots that will pay money for gender studies courses in which this is their final. I absolutely would believe it, because there are so many dumb people that buy into the crap that gender studies tells people. So seriously, that's the way that it works. Let's get into this next one here. Oh gosh, it's about women in gender studies. I don't know if you could hear that, but we're going to share this tab instead. Take a look and listen right here.
Women in gender studies? What a worthless degree. I actually really liked studying this. I majored in women and gender and sexuality studies at Dartmouth College. With that said, I double major minored. So I majored in political science with a focus in education policy. I majored in gender studies with a focus in gender and adolescence and gender development. And then a minor in theater. Dance emphasis. Then
I had to pause because this person is just so absolutely dumb. Let's go through their educational history one more time. I got to hear this. Again, I haven't watched any of these yet. So let me know what you guys think about any of these people in the comments. I'm curious. But so this person is responding to a comment. This is what a worthless degree gender studies. It is a worthless degree. But this person then goes through everything that I double major minored. What does it even mean?
Major minored. So I majored in political science with a
focus on education policy. First off, political science. As a person, I have 2 degrees right now. I'm going to law school soon, Liberty University. Heck yeah. But I have 2 degrees. I have a degree in marketing and a degree in political science. I can tell you the only reason I got a degree in political science was to prelude my legal studies. Political science in and of itself is an absolutely useless degree that you're wasting your money getting. Why? Because it's all just theoretical, like, philosophy. It's just you going into a room being like, oh, well, I believe this and I believe this. Then you have a teacher that screams at you and says, oh, you're pro-life, you're wrong. And then I'm like, I thought the whole point of this was to actually try to understand how people think and that it's different and that policy can be different and differ based on opinions. But then you have a professor that screams at you, you're wrong because the liberal way is the only way. And that's why, that's in a short. I just gave you guys want a political science degree. You guys just graduated from Kev University with a political science degree. It's pretty much what it is. Keep going.
Focus in education policy.
Education policy sounds like some stupid made up liberal crap too.
I majored in gender studies with a focus in gender and adolescence. Okay,
double major. So this person is responding to somebody saying that gender studies is a worthless degree, with then also reminding us that political science is a worthless degree. So this person is now admitting publicly that they got 2 worthless degrees. Congratulations, you played yourself. Keep listening.
Gender development. And then a minor in theater. Dance.
And then also minored in something that is useless. If you're good at theater, you don't need a minor in it. Go out to Hollywood and become a big shot if you're really that good at it. Or New York and be on Broadway.
Then I got my Master's of Science from Johns Hopkins with a focus in special education. You may say it's worthless, but you got to admit, the combination that I did, government, education, gender studies, it not only led to an account with 1 million followers, subtle flex, but
there are people that never went to college that have over 1 million followers. And for you to act like your degrees did that, people with marketing degrees did that too. And I'm pretty sure they probably did it better. So, okay.
Even if that all goes away tomorrow, the areas of focus have really given me skills to really help students where they're at.
Also, if the message that you're spreading is stupid, what's the point of having 1 million followers? The message that you're spreading is stupid. You're going to have a lot of people out there that are like, oh man, I want to get 1,000 or 1 million followers. And so I'm going to go waste hundreds of thousands of dollars on getting stupid degrees. And then I'll just be just like this random guy that has makeup on. That's what I'm going to do, idiot.
That be with academics, confidence, gender expression. But above all else, it gave me a really good world perspective. Like things that you just kind of brush off, you start thinking about once you're a gender studies major. Like Diet Coke and Coke Zero, really? No, dude, one of them is marketed towards women, the other is marketed towards men. It's actually a really good business degree if you want one.
Right now, I literally just finished drinking a Diet Coke, and I also oftentimes drink Coke Zero. I don't know how one is marketed towards one over the other. I like both. I think they're both fine, and I'm not a woman just because of that. I'm a woman when it's convenient. We covered this already. Next.
Yeah, she's the one. Oh, bye.
Let's do this one. I don't know what this is. It just says she got humbled so fast.
Oh, two, three.
Thanks.
Well,
I would say 3 and then 4.
Three.
Not saying you don't have a personality, but I'm like,
oh, I'm 5 again. This is final.
Okay, so I think they're rating attractiveness here, and it seems like this one got rated. I think it's right to left. This one here got most attractive. This one here also somehow got it. The kind of chubbier one got somewhat attractive. I don't know. Let's take a look at this one more time. I got to start this again. So we got the fat one right there.
oh, by far.
Two.
Yeah, so you can see one is most over here.
3.
Thanks.
Well,
I would say 3 and then 4. Not saying you don't have a personality, but I'm like,
oh, I'm 5 again.
And then this like short, petite little Asian one got 5.
This is final.
And this is what they ranked themselves. Let's see what the real ranking is. 5 men will now rearrange the ranking. I am so excited for this. Oh, wait, I want to rank mine. I'm curious here. First off, if my girlfriend is watching, you are number 1 always. First off. But if I have to go gun to my head and rank these ones, this one's last. That one's last. I can't even see them that well in this. Let's make my screen bigger. So this one's last. I'd say, so she's 5. She's 4. 3, 2, 1. That's the way I'd put it. So we'd have, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's the way I'd put it. Let's see what these men actually do now. Oh, this will be funny.
You go over there, and then like just shift down. Could you switch with her?
I switch her and her. You go over there.
Oh, those two. Okay. All right.
And then you over there.
Huh.
You switch. Yeah, that's
We're gonna get ripped a new one.
I don't want to be the pointer here.
Guys are not afraid to be more blunt. They were straight up, hey, you're attractive, you're not. But girls were like, I don't want to be rude. You know, we're all beautiful in our own way.
Well, I was at 5, and now I'm here. So I'm like, thank you. I don't know. It's very interesting.
I was pretty close to what every other guy said too. That's funny.
I
think when I think of a male viewing me as attractive or not versus a female, it's definitely different. Because in a male setting, judging me, I knew that was going to happen. I'm not stupid. So I'm aware of how others view me. I was surprised at them placing me at the bottom, but
It's an evil world we live in.
It's I'm sorry. I'm probably a bad person, but I think it's really funny because that's exactly how it is too. I mean, like you look, and this is how like social media is too. This is why like I believe that social media is kind of a detriment. And I know that I'm airing all of this on social media right now. I get that it can be used for positive things, but why social media is kind of a detriment is because you have all of these, you have girls especially, where they'll post like revealing pictures, and the guys will look at them and they'll be like, no, that's gross. Why did you post that? But all the girls in the comments will be like, slay queen, so pretty, like amazing. And then they'll find that there will be girls that are like, should probably work on themselves a little bit more, might be a little bit heavier. But because they're getting all these comments while they're in like, I don't know, like dental floss bikinis that are like, oh my God, you're so hot. Like, oh my God, like you can't even tell that you're 450 pounds. It doesn't even matter. Like, because they get that, and they're like, oh, and then they have people like Lizzo that are out and they're like, fat acceptance. Like, you're beautiful because you're fat. Slay queen, that kind of crap. Then you have these fatties who are there, and then everybody's like, oh my God, it's not even just like, that you can be like, oh my gosh, you're beautiful the way you are. It's you're more beautiful because you're ugly. That's how they put it. And so the fatty gets most attractive, and then the guys come up and they're like, flat out, you're wrong. That's not how it is. Good on them. That's funny. I like that one. Thank you for sending in that one. Let's go to this next one here of, oh God, what the heck is this thing? What the heck is this thing? Ugh.
You to try and stop me from going into a women's bathroom. I dare you to try and stop a transgender woman in my presence from using the bathroom. It will be the last mistake you ever make.
What are you going to sit on me?
Really? This is a call to action. You need to arm up.
Here's the thing. I'm really not sure one thought this through before posting it and what exactly that sounds like. I really hope that that's the case, because it's not just females that use the restroom or women. There's also children, little girls. And I frankly don't care what a person identifies as or what they are biologically, male or female. If any person makes any child feel uncomfortable in a public restroom, believe me, there is an absolute lot that I can say, and there is a lot that I can do to ensure that that child will feel safe.
I love these like Liam Neeson vibes from this woman going after this like fat dude that pretends to be a woman. Killing it.
And so when one says something like this,
There's nothing you can do to stop me. You can try, but you'll fail.
there is absolutely something that I can say and something that I can do, because children deserve to be protected above all else. Their safety and well-being comes before anybody else's feelings.
That reminds me so much. This is what I love about everything that we just saw there, is it reminds me of what I want to pull this thing that I'm pulling up. I want you all to watch this. You've probably seen it. I might even get a copyright strike for playing it, but I'm going to play it because I just think that it is so this is the same feeling that I got watching the girl in the red shirt respond to that biological man.
I don't know who you are. I don't know what you want. If you are looking for ransom, I can tell you I don't have money. But what I do have are a very particular set of skills. Skills I've acquired over a very long career. Skills that make me a nightmare for people like you. If you let my daughter go now, that'll be the end of it. I will not look for you. I will not pursue you. But if you don't, I will look for you. I will find you. And I will kill you.
And then right after that, then all of a sudden we have this dude who comes in and is just like right here.
You can try, but you'll fail.
There is absolutely.
You can try, but you will fail, Liam Neeson. That's exactly. Oh my god, that was the vibes I was getting from that. Thank you for that video. That was a good one. Whoever sent that. Don't forget, everybody, you can send videos into speechlesskp@gmail.com. Anything you want me to react to, I will. Because that's where I got all of these from. So make sure you send some stuff in speechlesskp@gmail.com. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends, all that fun stuff. But let's get to this one next, was sent in by a lovely user, which seems like some crazy liberal saying some crazy liberal things.
I'm feeling spicy, so here's my hot take of the day. All white people are racist. Every single last one of them, all of them are racist. And I don't mean that to say like every single individual white person, if I talk to you, you would have some kind of racist ideology. I'm saying that as a white person, you uphold a system of racism by literally just being white. I believe if you're not spending your literal entire life dismantling racism, then you're contributing to its continuation. And people get so like, whenever like I say like people are racist, like why is it such a big fucking deal? Like, yes, you're racist. Like, okay, we've established that. Now, what are you gonna do to change it? Racism refers to power and race. If you are the powerful race in a society, then you're fucking racist. Like, I just don't understand why it's so taboo. Let's talk about it. Let's accept it so that we can work towards changing it. We're never gonna get anywhere if people won't just fucking acknowledge it in the first place.
Wait, okay, so here's the thing. I'm gonna try to somehow extract a logical argument from some of this. So let's go through this like step by step a little bit here. Okay, right? That's not what I meant to do. I want to go back to what I was at. Sorry, I want to make sure that I can go back to the, because I was at a different video. Don't worry, everybody. I'm going to find this because I want to be able to actually go through this exact. We're going to go here. Here we go. Let's go through this video one more time.
I'm
and
feeling
here we go.
spicy, so here's my hot take of the day. All white people are racist.
So all white people racist. Here's claim. Claim all white people racist. Remember that.
Every single last one of them, all of them are racist.
All of them are racist. There's nothing they can do. Every white person, me, you watching, if you're white, racist. Now, let's keep going.
And I don't mean that to say like every single individual white person, if I talk to you, you would have some kind of racist ideology. I'm saying that as a white person, you uphold a system of racism by literally just being white. I believe if you're not spending your literal entire life dismantling racism, then you're contributing to its continuation.
Okay, so here's the argument. So again, claim. Every single white person is racist. There's nothing you can do to change it because you are a part of said system that is. If you are not doing everything, second claim, if you're not doing anything to change it, then you are thus perpetuating racism.
And people get so like, whenever like I say like people are racist, like why is it such a big fucking deal? Like, yes, you're racist. Like, okay, we've established that. Now, what are you going to do to change it?
Now, what are you going to do to change it? But here's the thing. Here, this doesn't make any sense. Here's why it's illogical. Because there could be, if the claim originally was is that every white person is racist and there's nothing you can do to change it, which is essentially what she's already said up until now, then it would be wrong, but there would be some level of a train of logic. The problem with this is that it comes to an end when she says, what are you going to do to change it? Well, you've already told me that there's nothing I can do to change it. But let's keep listening. Maybe there actually is some logic here that we can extract from this.
Racism refers to power and race. If you are the powerful race in a society, then you're fucking racist. Like,
okay, so she's not. I have to make inferences here and assumptions based on what she's saying because I can't totally. She doesn't go in depth enough. But what she's saying is, so you're racist because there is some level of power that you have. And so let's listen to that last part one more time, just so I make sure I get it right.
Powerful race in a society, then you're fucking racist.
Yeah, so if you are the powerful race, then you're racist. And so the way that so if we're going to change it based on all the rules that she has come up with in this, the ones that these rules don't actually exist, to be clear, by the way. I'm just playing along because I think it's fun, but they're the rules, they exist in the ether. They're a fugazi, they don't actually exist. But if they did, and we were playing by them, white people, racist, no matter what. Can't change it. unless you take away your power. Because if you have power, power is actually what racism is derived from. So what that would mean is that you have to no longer be the dominant race. And when I say dominant, the only thing that I can assume is that she means population. If you have more of a population, you thus have more power, and thus are the dominant race, and therefore that's what makes you racist. So the only way in her eyes is partial genocide, to get rid of the people so that you have the exact same number of people. That is the only way, by her rules, to extract the power and thus for there not to be racism anymore. By her definitions, is you need to have the exact same number of people of every race. Otherwise, there will be a more dominant, there will be a race with more power, and there will always be racism.
Like, I just don't understand why it's so taboo. Let's talk about it. Let's accept it so that we can work towards changing it. We're never going to get anywhere if people won't just fucking acknowledge it in the first place.
Well, you're doing a phenomenal job of acknowledging it, but you're not doing a very good job of explaining exactly how we actually change it. Because I'm willing to accept your premise if you can give me an actual solution to said premise, but there is no clear solution that you've presented by any means. You say that we're all racist and there's no way to change it except if we do partial genocide. That's like the only assumption I can come from that. But this is my last one here. If you want to send in a video or anything, or anything for me to react to, don't forget you can do so. speechlesskp@gmail.com. I'd love to hear what you guys have to say. But this is a great one. Somebody knows that I always love responding to fat people. So take a look and listen to this one here. Because I haven't. So take a day off with a fat.
You to spend my day off with me. I move this crap out of the way, and then I sit on the toilet and I let my boyfriend message my foot. Then I played with my markers. I'm currently drawing myself as a whale. I think it's cute. We decided to take one of our cats on a walk because Dale said she didn't want to go.
Okay, first two things that I noticed. First off, I'm very happy for her that she goes for a walk. Funny that she takes the cat for the walk. That's kind of a sub point on the first one. And then there's also a certain level to this that I really applaud her for, is that she's like, I don't know. Well, I'm not a big fan of gluttony and overindulgence to the point of severe obesity. I find it at least somewhat endearing when the individual like says, I drew myself as a whale because I think it's cute. It's like, at least you're recognizing your situation. I mean, you should do something to change it, but if you're comfortable in your gluttony and disgustingness, then like, good, go you.
This is a very happy kitty. She jumped in here voluntarily. We walked to the picnic table because I'm breaking about a 17-hour fast with this delicious Cheats OMAD. My boyfriend got cheese fries with bacon. I got cheese fries with no bacon because #moderation. I had 69% of this burrito, which had onions, chili, cheese, grilled chicken, steak, rice, and beans. It was awesome. I ate all but 5.
It was awesome. Did you guys hear that? I don't know. I just thought the way that she said that was funny. It was awesome.
And beans. It was awesome.
And
I ate
beans. It was awesome.
all but 5 French fries. Tried this 3 cheese mac and cheese, and I know it looks dank, but looks can be deceiving. For example, I look skinny, but I'm actually a fat. For dessert,
Okay. I like this girl. I think she's funny. Good for her.
Treated myself to 1.5 tacos. These just have beef, cheese, and jalapenos. The
Jalapenos
were really spicy, but very good. Cheats calories confused me. I think it's under my TDE, which is 2,700. Correct me if I'm wrong. The walk home was beautiful. I got a Mountain Dew from the gas station. This doesn't break my OMAD. This is a drink, not a food. I stayed up till 4 a.m. coloring and scrapbooking. It was the best day ever.
I think she's got a lot of like self-understanding and self-awareness, and there's a certain level of beauty to that. And while she should make serious lifestyle changes if she wants to like not die of a heart attack at like 30, like at least she's self-aware, and I'll give her that. I now identify as a fat from Ryan Mack. That's funny. Hashtag moderation, no bacon. That's funny. Everybody, that's all I got for today. Don't forget that you can like this video, subscribe to the channel, comment what you think, share it with your friends. Even after I'm done being live, you can do all of that, and I'd really appreciate it. I also want to give a huge thank you to everybody who has consistently supported me in my political journey, and a reminder that the big announcement that I had of today is I've committed to Liberty University, the law school. I will be going to law school coming this fall, and I will chronicle all of my adventures at Liberty as a law student. So make sure that you like this video and you subscribe to not only this channel, but all of my social medias, Facebook, YouTube, Twitter, Twitch, all that fun stuff, Rumble, Instagram, @SpeechlessKev. If you want to hear more and see more about my time in law school at Liberty. And thank you all for your continued support. It means so, so much to me. It really does. I'm being 100% serious in that. Like it's really going to be not an easy journey through law school. And to know that I have every single follower, every single viewer, everything, at least behind me in some way means so much to me. So with the utmost genuineness, I sign off today in this very special episode, 1 year after I started. That's another thing. I didn't even get to this. I can't even sign off yet. This is like my first live stream a year after starting to live stream Speechless. It used to just be a radio show. Then I started live streaming it. It's been, I believe this is my first one a year after. And oh my gosh, how much my life has changed in the year since I started this. Well over close to 2,000 subscribers on YouTube, followers everywhere, sponsors like Freedom 2.0 doing amazing work, sponsoring this show and supporting me in my journey towards law school, and so much more. Like, how could I thank everyone that's had something to do with this? I couldn't. It would take me the hour and 47 minutes again to do so. But for everybody who has consistently supported me, who's been watching and viewing for this last year and has followed me, whether you subscribed yesterday or you subscribed the day that I started this channel, thank you. Thank you. Because I am where I am because of you. I truly am. I have 2 degrees and I'm going to become a Juris Doctor. I'm going to become a lawyer, and I'm going to keep this show going. And while I hope I end every show where you can't speak, what I really seek to do is ensure, both personally and professionally, that I leave the liberals, the progressives, the leftists speechless. God bless you. God bless America. I truly mean that. God bless you as we come up on Easter. Thank you for watching Speechless.